And just finally from me, Mikel, is Mesut likely to feature in this match?
Mesut is training at the moment.
Is he likely to be involved against Aston Villa?
Like every other player that is training.
But either way, you're not saying 100% here.
Because I have to pick from 23, 24 players to do the squad. So I will do that this afternoon.
Thanks, Mikel.
Thank you.
Paul at Premier League.
Hi, Mikel. You talked a lot after the game at Wembley about David Luiz's return to form 30-odd days after his the other City game. I wondered about Granit Xhaka as well, what you thought of his turnaround after his troubles earlier in the season and his attitude and his approach to training since then.
That there are two players that are worth spending time with them and give them confidence, because I know how professional they are, how much they want to be successful at this football club, and how much they care. And sometimes when they react or they have difficulties, they really suffer. And when that happens, these players deserve support and backup. And they are showing with their performances that they are worth to be here. And you can see how they fight for the club.
And how open was Granit to changing his game to suit exactly what you wanted from him?
The challenge with Granit was to convince him that it was still a place for him here, that I had a big belief in him, and that things can turn around pretty quickly in this industry, that he had to send the right messages, that first of all, he had to believe that he could do it. And if that was the case, that we were going to support him all the way through. And I'm really glad to hear and sense as well the reaction from the fans towards him, because I think they can appreciate what he's done. That's in the past is a lot of positive to take from sometimes difficult situations. And we all learn from that. And I think it's a really good example for any player that it's in a difficult moment, that if you are willing, you are consistent, and you really want to do it genuinely, I think there is always a way back.
Can you just give us a word on Aston Villa, what you've made of them, perhaps since the restart or certainly recent games?
In my opinion, they've been very unlucky in a lot of games. It's a team that wants to play football that makes it really difficult to the opponent when they have the ball. I think the fans not being there in that ground, that is one of my favorites in England, to be fair. It's a big disadvantage for them. But that we really need to be careful that they are alive. And you can see that in the last few games that I watch of them, and that we better be ready.
Thanks, Mikel. Good luck.
Thank you.
George at the BBC.
Thanks, Mark. Hello, Mikel. In the last week, you've beaten probably two of the best teams in Europe. So is this a clear belief that the players are on board with where you're going? And how far can you go, do you think, if they all stick to where you're going and the direction you're going?
Yes, all the credit to the players for the way they've been performing and the way they've been believing in what we are trying to do. Obviously, this is a marathon. This is a long-term thing that has to be in place, and you have to do it consistently throughout 10 months. It's not good enough to do it in a week. So we haven't done anything, just won 2 games that give us a big boost, belief, and the sense that if we are all doing our best, we can compete against any team. But now we have to be consistent and do it every 3 days.
The manager you're up against in the cup final, Frank Lampard, is in his first Premier League season. He's been backed by his board. They've allowed him to buy Timo Werner and Ziyech. Is that what you need? Do you need the sort of money he's had to spend in the summer to really go where you want to take Arsenal?
Well, first of all, Frank, I think he's doing a really good job. He took a difficult situation after the ban that they had. Obviously, that context is different to ours. I'm happy to see him do so well, and I will face in the final, and I know the challenge will be difficult for both.
But you would like to have the money he's had in the summer?
I'm very happy with the environment that I have, with the communication that I have with the people at the club, and with the plan that we are putting together.
And just in terms of Arsenal playing out from the back yesterday on Saturday, that risky tactic really played off. But do you get nervous watching that at times?
No, I get nervous when we kick the ball long. So the quicker it goes there, after the quicker it comes back. And I rather do that, obviously, with the right structure, with the right timing, and using the right spaces. But it's something that we have to do more often.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ian at TalkSport.
Hi, Mikel. Congratulations on Saturday. Can you just talk to us about Kieran Tierney, what he's like to manage? Because he seems a very quiet individual, but yet he's fitted in really well. Now he's fit to your either back three or playing at left back. And with his age going forward, he looks a real player.
I think I can talk like with all the staff. We are delighted to work with him. He's a joy of a kid. He's always willing to do more. He always wants to train harder. He wants to push himself more. He had some difficult moments since he joined, but hopefully now he feels that we really like him, that we really support him, and that we really appreciate everything he's doing since we joined. So for me, he's a player that is a really good role model for any other player in the squad.
You're going into a game tomorrow where Aston Villa will be playing with fear because obviously they need to win to stay up. But you can play with any amount of freedom you want. The game, in relative terms, doesn't really matter to Arsenal. Is that more helpful to you?
I don't want that mindset. I'm sorry. It does matter to us and a lot because I want to win both games like they do, and I want to players to go with that urgency and aggressiveness to that game.
Picking up on the summer and the transfer business you may or may not be doing, will a lot of that depend on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang? And sorry to go back to him again. You've always said you're positive or signed, but does he need to sign his contract before the cup final or just after, so you know where you're going in terms of what squad you need or what players you need?
Well, when I was talking about the uncertain things that we have on the table, obviously he's one of them, and there is another one, obviously, where we're going to finish and whether we're going to be playing in Europe or not, which is going to have an impact. And then all this situation, the market, how it's going to develop. With Oba, I think I've been very clear what I want. The quicker we do it, from me personally, the better, because the player will be more focused, more determined and more calm. But we have to respect the timings as well and the needs that the football club has.
And finally, to quote your own words on Granit Xhaka, he's shown if you're willing and consistent, there's always a way back. Does that apply to the two players at the moment who it doesn't seem to be a way into the team for, Ozil and Guendouzi?
That applies for any player and any member of the staff or any player that works at the organization. Because if you show really that you're decided to do the best, not for yourself, but for the team and for the club, I think everybody will welcome you. And it's not just me, the one who has to give the green light. It's everybody that has to be supportive. And you need to feel as well that support from everybody, because it's a very uncomfortable situation.
Good luck at Villa Park, Mikel.
Thank you.
Nick at Haters.
Hi, Mikel. A few quick ones. Just picking up on Granit Xhaka, is it fair to say that he's one of the players who's benefited from playing without crowds because he hasn't had that pressure of people getting on his back if he makes a mistake?
Well, obviously, if you talk after the incident that happened, you are completely right. Afterwards, when I joined, to be fair, and we had the crowd, I didn't sense any individual reaction towards him. I think the crowd started to be much more positive, but I don't know, it's more a question for him. But he's someone I think he can handle any situation. But I don't know. Good question.
Thanks. Couple on some former Arsenal players. Watching the Chelsea match yesterday, what did you think of Olivier Giroud? Would you like to still have him available in your squad? He's playing well, isn't he?
He's playing really well. He's really handful. I know, Olivier, how dangerous it is as well every time the ball is around the box. And he's scoring a lot of goals at the moment. He earned his place in the team. And I'm happy as well for him because I know him well and he's such a great character.
And another Arsenal favourite, Santi Cazorla, who finished his time at Villarreal over the weekend. What are your thoughts on him? And some people are suggesting that there might be a coaching role or some sort of role for him back at Arsenal, either this summer or in the future.
my opinion on Santi cannot be any higher. Personally, first, with the type of person he is and what he brings to that dressing room, and as well as a player, what he did throughout his career. About the coaching role and the future, we will see what happens right now. But he just finished. Let him enjoy that moment, and we will see what happens in the future.
So it's not a discussion you've had with him anyway?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. Cheers. Thanks.
Thank you.